to today's vlog. I'm sat out in my back garden today. You'll have to excuse me if I'm squinty because it's super sunny, but to try and get the nice light I'm facing directly into the sun. Just back from a nice dog walk with the kids. Dave's headed into the gym just to check the place over and things like that, so I thought I would take the opportunity to get my vlogging done early in the day. I'm sat at the top of my garden. We've got this nice stone wall with ivy on it, and my washing line and my shed is over there. Yeah, thought I'd get out in the sun just for a little bit. Today's going to be another Q&A, so I've pulled up my list of questions and I can just about see it in the sunshine. Okay, the crazy sheep asked, what is Jim's adoption story? I used to be borderline phobic about dogs. I got bitten by a black dog when I was very, very little, and just unbelievably scared of them. If they barked at me, I would burst into tears, and it was really quite unpleasant. And then we moved to the island and I had kids, and I didn't want them to be as scared of dogs as I was. And my best friend on the island, who just lives a couple of streets away, had a very lovely golden Labrador called Archie. And over the years, I grew used to Archie and grew very fond of him. And in the end, I felt brave enough that we could get our own dog. So for Dave's birthday a few years ago, we started hunting around for puppies. And I was absolutely gobsmacked at how much a Labrador puppy costs. They were like £600. And I'm thinking, well, I don't want a show dog, I just want a pet dog. Anyway, in the end, we found a breeder based out of Bridgend, which is a town, it's probably 50 miles further west into Wales. And this was a commercial breeder in that he bred dogs for police forces and armed forces all over the world. And he bred bomb disposal dogs and drug sniffer dogs and things like that. And I just spotted him advertising online locally a litter of black Labrador puppies. So we toddled over, super quick, jumped in the car, and it turned out that this was supposed to be an order of bomb disposal dogs for somewhere overseas that had fallen through. So Jim was supposed to be a bomb disposal dog. I'm pretty sure he would have been a terrible bomb disposal dog, but instead he got to come and live with us on Barry Island. And there were sort of half a dozen puppies to choose from. Jim was the second one that Dave picked up. And he just cutched up into Dave's neck and gave him a big huff. And Dave was like, oh, this is the dog. So that's how Jim the dog came to live with us. Sal, oh hi Sal. Sal Dowd asked, is top-down difficult? Do you mean socks, top-down socks? I don't think top-down socks are any more difficult than anything else. Or toe-up socks, it's much of a muchness. They are a bit fiddly to join in the round at the very beginning. But then I think that's true whether you're doing magic loop, DPNs, toe up or top down. Or do you mean jumpers? Top down. Also no more difficult than anything else. It's just, you just got to feel the fear and do it anyway, Sal. Just go for it. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce this name. Zeshius? Zeshius. Will you give us a tour of your house? No. I think, to be fair, you've seen most of it anyway. Yeah, I've done bits of podcasting from my bedroom and the front room and back room and the dining room and the kitchen you see fairly regularly. I think the only bits you haven't seen are the kids' bedroom, and that's their private space. I love my house very much, but it is a little bit of a shambles. We had the whole place rewired a few years ago, and of course they had to dig massive channels in the walls, which they plastered over, but we haven't got round to redecorating anything, so it really doesn't look terribly impressive. So no, I won't show you a tour of my house. You'll just have to piece it together from the snippets I post on here. Foozle Crafts says, what inspires the colour of the yarn that you dye? I think that Jenny and I, when it came to colours for Cartref Yarn, we both wanted a good range of colours, and because the undyed yarn base is naturally an oatmeal sort of colour, it adds a depth to the finished colours of yarn that you wouldn't get on a bright white undyed yarn. And we each of us had some definite ideas. So our colourway Coron, which is a reddy purple colour, that was Jenny's brainchild. She definitely knew that was the colour, that was the particular colour of purple that she wanted. Ayr, our yellow, that was mine. I knew that I definitely wanted a sort of a dirty gold mustard shade. So it's not that we're particularly inspired by something, we just know what we want, and Jenny is really good at blending the colours together to come out with what we want. There's always a testing process, so you sort of mix up the dye according to what you think, and then you dip some bits and pieces in it to see if it comes out right, and then you just have to plonk 5 skeins in and dye it and hope it comes out right. So yeah, it's more from wanting a full colour palette than it is from wanting to recreate a particular colour that we've seen in nature or anything like that. And I think we've got time for one last question. Ooh, Charlie, you absolute git. This is your question. Yarn Ambassador asked, if you could only either knit or lift weights, which would you choose? That's a really deeply unfair question. I love knitting more than I love lifting weights. Knitting would win on that basis. But I need to lift weights as much as I need to knit. For me, knitting is my passion. It's my connection to all of you guys. And it's important for my well-being. It's my me time, it's my space, it's my break from the world. But weightlifting is just as important for me. Obviously it's our business, so I couldn't morally run a gym and be a personal trainer if I weren't also exercising myself. It's also very important for my own personal health and well-being, as it is for everyone. But I do suffer with arthritis, and it is important that I keep my muscles as strong as possible to keep that going. So I'm going to completely slide out of this question and choose both, because it's my podcast and I'll choose both if I want to. That was just cruel. Okay, that's all for the questions for today. Again, I've got at least one more of these daily ones that I can fill up. I think a couple of other people added some questions late in the day, so I'll put those on the list as well. And I will leave you with a little bit of video of Jim on the beach. Poor old Jim the dog was sick last night. I think he found something disgusting to eat in the back garden. So he was throwing up and he didn't eat his dinner. And when I came down this morning, he'd been sick again, and his breakfast, his last night's dinner was still in the bowl. But he did eventually perk up and he had a nap, and we went for a nice walk on the beach, not too far. And I know some of you have been enjoying the beach pictures, so I took a little bit of video clip that I'll put in here at the end. And I will be back on, this is Friday, so this video will go up Saturday. So Saturday I'm going to record a normal full-length podcast that will go live on Sunday. But Sunday I'm not going to film a daily vlog. I'm going to give myself a day off. So you'll have a full podcast episode on Sunday, nothing on Monday, and then back to daily vlogs on Tuesday. There will probably be a bit of overlap between these, but not everyone watches the daily vlogs. Okay, I hope you're looking after yourselves and that you enjoy your trip to the beach. Bye!